All right, guys, welcome back to Crossman Productions. You guys, I'm really excited about this next interview. Um, I've been waiting probably about 2 weeks since the last Power Slap 11, to bring Vern back in and talk to Vern. We have a lot of catching up to do. We're going to talk about the match in Saudi Arabia. We're going to talk about whatever Turpin said to set him off. I want to get his take on that. You guys already know how I feel about Turpin, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about now that Ron's retired, we'll talk a little bit about the title and where that should go next and how that should play out. So let's go ahead and bring Vern in. Brother, welcome back to the show, man.
What is up?
Man, so like I said, we got a lot to talk about. So I've been saying this all week. We had Ron on, I had Damien on earlier today. That match in Saudi, I hate that it was you that had to go up against Ron. I hate that it was you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm kind of glad it was you because one, we have a lot of respect for you. So I hate to see that you got knocked out in that match, but I'm glad because I know how much Ron wanted that matchup with you, and I know how much how much of a competitor you are, and honestly, that match could have went either way.
I know, and I missed on the first one, and I didn't hit him square. And I know in the back of Ron's head, he was like pissed because I hit him a little low, but then he was all like, "All right, well, here's my chance." I know, so he had to do the best he had to do. So I was okay. I was disappointed. I tried shaking his hand after I hit him because I knew he was going to give me a good one.
Right. Yeah, and he was really looking forward because all the fights leading up to that, we talked about who he wanted to face next, and he kept telling me that that you deserve the shot, for that title. So I know he has a lot of respect for you, and so
yeah, and I have the utmost respect for him. So yeah.
So and he told me, we talked about this last time. Whenever was it Power Slap 9, 10? When it was the one you took out Turpin.
9, yeah, Power Slap 9.
Yeah, whenever we got predictions, I told him, I'm like, I thought Turpin was going to get that one, and I can't stand Turpin. I think I even thought that. And Ron kept telling me, don't underestimate Vern. Don't underestimate him. And so, like I said, when you knocked him out, when you knocked Turpin out like that, man, I did a dance. I'm glad I lost that prediction. So I was glad to see that. So now now that the matches are first of all, let's talk a little bit about Saudi. What was that like going out to Saudi Arabia?
It was a great experience. I mean, it's seeing another culture and how they do things. It's always different because obviously in America we do all sorts of different things. But it was great. They were very welcoming to us. I didn't have any issues with anybody. Even when I was out in public, I got recognized a lot, mainly because they had me and Ron's face like posted on big billboards. They were very, very nice to us. It was amazing.
Cool. I was telling Ron about it. I'm like, what sucks about I saw the pictures that Craig Hawaiian and Danny Van Herden was posting in all the places that you guys got to go see. The biggest things about going to a new place is trying the food. That's trying that the cuisine there. And I was like, it had to suck for the first couple of days because you guys have to make weight, so you guys don't get.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, we were at this place and they made this beautiful meal and everything, and they're like, I'm eating like little bits, and they're like, oh, you don't like? I'm like, no, I love it. I can't eat any because I have to weigh in tomorrow.
Right. So did you get to stay after and get to enjoy everything?
Yeah. I went out and did some things. I went and I shopped some. I went to a little local market. I always like when I travel, I like to go see the local stuff, not the touristy stuff. So we went to
Right.
some local places.
Cool. So did you get your name on that little thing that they
Yeah,
drew up?
they drew my they wrote my name in Arabic, and it
Yeah.
was really cool. I got that. Yeah.
Cool. It sounds like you guys had a lot of fun. Did you get to do the cookie challenge?
Oh yeah. I did the cookie challenge, but I landed in. I can't remember what it was. It wasn't disgusting. I was like, yeah, okay. I'm like, you guys can dip it in the ketchup. I'll eat it.
Right. Ron told me that he got his I guess fell into like a Coke or something, you know. So he was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, forget, I haven't eaten anything in forever, so you know, anything you give him, you know, is good." So yeah, just seeing some of the reactions to what some of those guys look like. You guys had a blast out there.
We did, and Power Slap. They always hook us up and treat us very well. AJ, Aiden, Erica, even everyone in the media, everyone that's part of the organization, they do a really good job of making sure that we're taken care of.
Right. So that's the thing too. I was talking to Damien about this. Is watching how much this sport has grown in the last year. Just going from the last Super Bowl when they had it in Vegas, on Super Bowl weekend, to where it's at now. Now you're, traveling to other countries. It's just grown so much, and it seems like the fans are the same everywhere you guys go.
Yeah, I mean we have great fans. I get recognized a lot more than I thought I would. I went to the UFC experience in Saudi Arabia, and
Yep.
there were some local people that saw me, and they're like, "Oh, Burn the Mechanic," I'm like, "Can I get an autograph?" So that was cool because I finally someone had an autograph book. So I'm in a book with like different wrestlers,
Yeah.
fighters of this kid that had all these names. So that was pretty surreal.
Cool. So, what was your favorite part about the whole thing, the whole trip?
Honestly, just how the Saudis and how the culture and how the government, how they really welcomed us, and they want to be a sport that goes over there,
Right.
and for them to just go out of their way to do the best they can for us. That's what I really love.
Cool. And I heard that the place you stayed at was a lot like, I guess, their idea of Vegas.
Yeah, it was a great place. The buffet every
Mhm.
morning breakfast was amazing. Like it was like 5-star hotel stuff. Like constant, like whatever I needed, they had. Room service was crazy. Everything was above and beyond. So I mean, if not better than Vegas for sure.
Wow. And I heard it was a lot cheaper than here in the U.S.
Oh, it was so cheap. Like I thought I was messing up. Like I was like, oh man, am I like? But no, like Uber rides were like $6, $7. Sometimes they were $10 for an Uber ride. My meals were anywhere from like $4.50 to $8, and that was a good meal.
Right.
Um, I ate at a local place that had some shawarma,
Right.
and you went to the window. They gave you your ticket. You took your ticket to the cook. The cook made it, and that was like it was a huge meal, and I think that was like $6.
Right. Yeah. That's what Ron was telling me. He's like, he got like a really big meal for like 14. And he's like,
Yeah,
there was like a ton of food.
yeah. Very everything about it was the food was phenomenal. When I could finally eat, it
Right.
was phenomenal.
Wow. So, so now we got to talk about the title. So, Ron, he's retiring. So they're putting the title up. My thing is this, we could talk about this. Is I still look at you, even though it didn't go your way this past time. I still you as the number one contender. Now we got
Yeah,
a lot of young talent coming up, with Luke Simmons, and you got Russell. There's a lot of guys moving up the ranks. I think that Luke and Russell should do the next match, and then whoever wins that goes against you.
So Russell against two?
Do it.
You said Russell against two?
Luke Simon.
Yeah. I think that'd be a great thing. I've heard some people like, oh, Vern doesn't deserve it. There's always those people that are hating out there. But honestly, so Turpin beat Wolverine.
Right.
And then I beat Turpin, and then I lost to Ron. So, it still proves that I'm supposed to be at the top.
Right.
Because regardless if I won or if I lost this one or won this one, I wasn't dropping down to 5th place.
Right.
Because it's a championship. It's a championship fight. So yeah, I agree. I think Russell and Luke need to go against each other, or Russell and I would love to see Russell and Turpin, just because I want to see Turpin get knocked out, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Right. I was going to ask you that too, because I've asked a couple of people about Turpin coming back, but Turpin's going to have to work his way from the bottom up if he came back.
Yeah, I did it.
Yeah,
I did it. I lost the championship the first time, the very first inaugural championship. I lost. Then I lost my next match to Klingbeil. And then, they didn't tell me this, but as a fighter and as a competitor, you don't dip below 500. You dip below 500 and they kick you out of the league.
Right.
So I had to win my next 4 matches. It was it. So I did. Right. So I think honestly, shove him down and go against some of the lower level guys, and if you want it, you're going to make it happen. And I wanted it, so I made it happen.
Right. And Turpin does it to himself. He comes in, overweight. He did it twice. It's debatable if he's done it 3 times. With the last cancellation, I'm speculating, but I'm thinking that's probably what the reason was.
So let's get on this weight thing for a little bit. That annoys the shit out of me.
Right.
Do you know how much I weigh? I walk around at.
What do you want?
I walk around at 220, 225.
Okay.
I love food. You always see me on the internet. I'm making food. We're at barbecues. I love food. As soon as they tell me, Vern, you have a match.
Right.
You become dedicated. You eat properly. You train properly. And every single time I just come in, I'm about where I need to be. I cut a little weight. I don't understand. All this information is out there for people to do what I do.
Right.
And how he can't lose the weight. If they called me and they're like, Vern, next Friday, you have a match. I weigh 225 right now. Right. I'm going to weigh 204 by next Friday.
So what'd you say? How do you lose weight, cut weight that fast?
Honestly, it's a lot of vegetables. I pretty much go vegan. I take my calorie intake down, so I don't ever get over 600 calories a day, and I raise my water intake. So I supplement my hunger with water. I just drink water constantly.
Okay. Yeah.
And also the biggest secret is sugar-free Jell-O.
Okay.
When I know I have a fight coming, in my refrigerator at all times, there's 30 quarts of sugar-free Jell-O when I'm in fight week, because I'm always hungry. I'm wanting it. So if I'm hungry, I go watch a movie. I grab a couple quarts of sugar-free Jell-O. I sit down, eat my Jell-O. Your stomach's full, and you're good to go.
Wow. I think part of Turpin's deal is all of Turpin's weight is in his face and his neck. The double chin. You know what I mean? So I think that's why he stays. Because if you watch Turpin slim down, he loses that weight. You know what I mean? In his neck and his double chin. You know what I mean? Because Turpin always turtles up every time somebody smacks him. You know what I mean? He loses his neck. And so my theory is that he keeps the weight on because that's what protects him.
Oh, it's got to be. I mean, he has a reasoning behind it. And then one time he's like, "Oh, he was on a podcast with someone who's like, I'm gonna intimidate that old man. I'm gonna scare him. There ain't no one on this planet I'm scared of. It doesn't bother me. So for him to come in overweight, I was like, all right, fine. I get your money. I get part of your money, and I'm gonna kick your ass. This sounds great.
Then we got to talk about talk about him on podcast. He said something. You just posted a video. You're pretty ticked off. What was it that he said that set you off?
Honestly, he just talks about how like, oh, there he is, Vern getting knocked out and all this stuff, and then he brings up my wife, my kids. There's an unwritten rule. You can say whatever you want about me, but you don't talk about my wife and you don't talk about my kids. And then all of a sudden, his wife starts running her mouth, and it just turns into a shit show of someone that can't back up what he's saying.
Right.
Because where I'm from, like, he doesn't understand where I'm from.
Right.
Like, we handle things.
Right.
Like, I'm on my way to Florida to do something right now. I might stop by his house. I don't know. And we'll have a conversation. Because that's how I am.
Right.
I'm the guy that'll drive 2,000 miles to tell you to shut your mouth to your face.
Man.
So, he's part of an era that they're keyboard warriors. They're telephone tough. Like, I have no problem telling you where I'm at, where I'm doing, and you want to come talk to me, come talk to me.
Right.
So I guess I'm just part of the old school era.
Yep. Yeah. And he does this all the time. He did it with Ron before the match. He did it with you last, when you got knocked out. And when he did it last time, normally it's posted somewhere and you can see it. The first time he did it, I chimed in because I probably wrote like a paragraph trashing him, for all the stuff he was saying. When you come in overweight and then you complain about not getting your title, you know what I mean? And then you blame the other guy. You blame the other guy. How are you going to blame the other person? You're the one who's overweight. You know what I mean? You're the one who lost the title because of something you did. Yeah. And then he comes, you would think he would have learned the first time. Then he comes back the second time. And he does the same thing with you, comes in overweight.
Yeah. He's just delusional.
Yeah. And I get the persona. I get the, that's good, to have the bad guy, the villain, But like you said, if you're going to be able to come in and talk that kind of trash, you should be able to back it up.
Yep, 100%.
So there's nothing worse than somebody who comes in and talks trash and gets knocked out.
And then loses and then talks more trash.
Right. It's crazy. So, he and I know he got Ron, but he came in overweight with Ron. You got him the second win. And then he went again. And they pulled it, and they said he had a kid. Okay, I give him that. I'll give him a pass if that's he had a kid. Then they pull him again, but the time for the second time they pulled him, I really think it was because he didn't make weight again. That's and I'm speculating, but that's how I feel because of his history.
Yeah.
So now. So for the next, for the title, now that Ron is retired, what's your thought on the title? How do you think that it should play out?
I really think that as much as I hate it, I think Russell needs to go against Turpin, and then I need to go against the winner, or Russell needs to go against Luke, and then I go against the winner. I think even though I lost, I'm still number one because I lost in the title. So you don't just get dropped down 5 matches for that.
Right.
Or ranking. So, I mean, honestly, I think Russell versus someone and then the winner of that versus me.
Right. And, and the fact too, that Ron retired right after that, right after that title match. I think that that should freeze the standings. Yeah, I mean, even though you got knocked out, I don't think you should have dropped it all. I still think you're the number one contender.
Yeah, and I'm happy for Ron. If he wants to retire, he can retire. It's
Right.
his ordeal. And he, for him, why not go out on top? There's so many athletes that like drag it out, and it just, they're not on top anymore. They go from
Right.
the top all the way to the bottom. Well, if he wants to leave on the top, I'm proud of him.
Right. And we kind of talked about that too, because I asked him what made him finally pull the trigger on it, and he said that he's accomplished everything he set out to accomplish. He didn't see anything else that he could do to further. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's done it all.
So that's why I think that him retiring should freeze the standings, the rankings, and then which keeps you at the number one contender, the spot. And I think that you're the guy to beat. If anybody's going to come in, whoever it be, Russell, Luke, Austin, if Austin can get his stuff together, I think you're the guy to beat.
Yep.
So now let's talk about some of the other matches. During Power Slap 11, Crazy Hawaiian and Dumpling. What were your thoughts on that one?
Honestly, I had to go back and watch it because I don't remember it. But I was really happy for them both. People need to see good matches. That was a good match. They needed the rematch. Dumpling was there to prove a point, and his point's proven, and he's just going to keep going. And now the Hawaiian has to take a step back and figure out what he's going to do to get back on the game.
Right. And that's the thing too that I think was really good about the matches in Power Slap 11 is that every match everybody was evenly matched up. Crazy Hawaiian and Dumpling. I mean, that could have went either way. With the way those two guys are, it's ironic that Crazy Hawaiian lost to the guy who got him into Power Slap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah, and it's still great. They're two great competitors, and people wanted to see it. So win or lose, that's a great match, and that's what we need. We need entertainment, and win or lose, I'm entertaining because I lost, but I have never. Every competition I've had has ended in a knockout. Right. Either I got knocked out or I knocked them out. So who doesn't want me on the card? Like you're guaranteed what you're there to see.
Right. Right. And even like Jackie and Sheena, that was such an evenly matched evenly matched.
Yeah, the bout was really evenly. So yeah, it's good.
So and I like seeing that. So even Isaiah and Brandon coming up in Power Slap 12. I mean, those two guys are.
Oh, dude, I love that. Oh, dude, they're at each other's throat. I love it.
And both of them are beasts, man. They're both. I mean, you see them, and I mean, those guys are crazy, man.
Oh yeah, no, they're great for the sport. It's entertaining. Their shit talking is great because it's at each other's opponents and what they're doing. So yeah, I love every bit of it.
So and see, that's the thing too. The way that they do it and the way Turpin does it is totally different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can talk trash to the person you're up with, but I'm with you. Don't bring somebody's wife and kids in it. You know what I mean? If you got a match with, if it's a match between you and another guy, all right, that's between you two. Don't bring guys' wife and kids into it.
Yep.
So, yeah, man. So, Power Slap 12, we got the Isaiah and Brandon fight. I wanted to see who else is going to be on the card.
I think Robert Trujillo is going to be on the card.
Okay, cool.
I don't know who he's going to go against, but I think they're finally going to do a title match for their weight division. And honestly, I haven't heard much of anything else who's going to be on. They haven't really told me. You know, once everything's over with, you know, we kind of get back to reality. And you know, I know I'm not on the card. I'm not coaching to my knowledge. So I just know that Brandon's gonna be on there. Trujillo's gonna be on there, and they're gonna bring out the entertainment. So whatever they do is gonna be good.
Yeah, and you know, I was talking to Damien, and so they're gonna have to figure out who his next opponent's gonna be. They just got to do it in the super heavyweight and the light heavyweight, so they're gonna have to figure out the heavyweight. And that's the thing too. Is I hope, and the same thing with you, is I hope that they move on this quickly with the light heavyweight and the super heavyweight, because I know it's got to be tough as a competitor to wait to see who you're going to go up against next, and in that time frame it takes for them to get to you.
Yeah. I wish we had quicker turnarounds, but also it's all about safety.
Right.
You know, we get like certain medical suspensions, and we get checkups and everything. So they're moving the sport along as fast as they can in a safe manner. So,
right.
You know, and I think that's great that we have all these weight classes. So I have a feeling our next card is going to be, it's going to have some heavyweights, but they're going to be heavyweights that weren't competing in the last one. We're going to have some welterweights, super, you know, lightweight guys. So they'll with getting enough people in the sport, we're able to, you know, surround it and get it going quicker, because we have more events,
right,
and more people.
And you know, and the other thing is, I want to see the women's division continue to grow.
Yeah, it's growing. It's really hard, you know. Honestly, like even like MMA, you know, the percentage of women that fight compared to men, it's just lower. Right. So they'll eventually come through, and it's going to take some time, and they'll do it.
See, and I was talking to Damien about that too, about them coming up with different classes for the women. You know, the weight classes, because you got Jackie and Sheena. You got Paige Van Zandt, which is, you know, all these are just great fighters and it's good for the sport. So I want to see them start coming up the weight classes. That once they do that, eventually one of the women's matches is going to be one of the title fights. As soon as they can come up with, you know,
they just got to get enough people in the weight division to justify it, I think, you know.
Right. So Damien said something about possibly, you know, them doing it through the title and just have a whole women's division, you know, or women's road to the title.
I mean, I think they should. To get more women involved, they probably need to like widen the weight range a little bit, and you know, keep it. Just broaden it out just a tiny bit. There's so many guys that compete, so they can have all these different weight divisions. I think if they like, you know, made the weights just a little broader.
Yeah, you got, you know, if you look at Jackie and Sheena, I mean, obviously they're going to be in a different class than Paige, because Paige is a lot smaller. So you got to, you know, you're looking what the balance is on that. So. And the weight class is basically, I mean, all this is going to be based on weight, so they're going to try to have to figure it out. But you just need more people.
Yeah, just more people.
Yeah. So anyway, eventually I think it's going to happen, and I think that it's going to be huge once they get that rolling, because I think the women's matches are almost as anticipated as the men's matches.
Oh yeah, I was more excited for Sheena and Jackie than most of the other fights, you know. And right. And the people don't realize too, like Sheena, she's a world class judo competitor. Jackie is a world class wrestler, right. and fighter. So these are two people that like without the sport would still be competing in a martial arts or wrestling. So they're bringing people in. So I was super excited for their match.
Right, and to see the rematch too. I mean, both of those girls are beasts. I mean, so all right, cool, man. I wanted to talk to you, come in and just catch up with you and see how everything was going, man. Like I said, I hate that it was you that got knocked out, but I was glad it was you because
it was a double-edged sword. It was a fan favorite,
right.
But then people were like, "Whose side am I on?"
Right.
And I do not like to lose. I hate losing. But to lose to that guy that is so respectful and is a good guy, I'm okay with it. I'm happy for him. I'm happy he's able to go out on top. He made a legacy, and if we ever have a Hall of Fame, Ron's in it. So he submitted everything he needed to do.
Cool, man. Well, I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you taking the time out, coming on the show. You're welcome anytime, dude. Anytime, come in. Shoot the breeze.
Yeah, I mean, hit me up anytime. I'm sorry. We kind of did a short notice on driving somewhere. We're heading down to Miami. So we just hopped in the car and I was like, we got to do this podcast. So I'm glad you're able to work with me. But yeah, just let everyone know. Follow my page, look on Instagram. Some big things are coming. We're heading to Miami right now to pick up something awesome. And we're making some footage for this.
Where did you get the merch from? I saw the new shirts.
I got a company, the local guy that does it. You just go to my Instagram, click on my links in the bio there, and yeah, you can get a custom shirt made. It's got my face on it, Burn the Mechanic. I got my sponsors, Plaza Hotel, Pink Box Donuts, Two Nobodies, K4 Garage, TNT Auto, and Hill Jobs. They're the ones that do the graphics, Hill Jobs graphics. So yeah, pick it up, buy it. DM me. We'll see what we can do, and I'll do the best I can for everyone. But I love it, and I'm thankful for the support.
Cool. And we'll information, and we'll stick it in the comment field. Anybody who wants to, check it out on the social media and look at the merchandise, we'll give a link for that.
Yep. Yeah. Just do that. Go ahead and just get it on my Instagram, and it's all there.
Cool. All right, brother. Have a safe trip. Get to where you're going. And, like I said, you're welcome on anytime. Hopefully, we'll see you with the title soon.
Yep. I appreciate it. And thanks for the support, guys. Love you guys. Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you again for joining us. And remember, you are uniquely designed with a purpose. And always keep moving forward. Peace.
All right, man. See ya.